Hi, my name is Noelle. I'm an alcoholic, and I am 83 days sober and living in a treatment center. Started drinking and smoking when I was 14. I probably started drinking when I was younger, like at family events, just like had mimosas. And the second alcohol hit my mouth, I loved it. And I'd always sneak a little bit more in the kitchen when like no one was looking, and no one ever knew because I never got out of control. I didn't really understand what alcohol was. I just really liked what it did for me. It made me just completely relaxed and calmed me down a little bit. So in high school, smoked a little bit of pot here and there. Drinking, I really started drinking when I was like 15 with my friends. I hung around like really good people, really smart people, and like art students and stuff. I was an art student. And I was always the one on Friday, like when we'd start drinking, to be like, let's start drinking as soon as school's over. And no one wanted to. They wanted to wait till later, or like, we're only going to drink one night out of the weekend. And I was always like, no, like let's drink from like, 3 p.m. till Sunday night. And I would always go over to my friend's house, and like they had a huge open bar, and I'd be drinking the whole weekend. I was that girl that got carried home a lot, blacked out, but my friends just thought it was funny. I'd be dancing, and I just all of a sudden I'd hit that wall, just because I couldn't stop once I got it in me. I just needed to have more. I was like a fiend for more alcohol. I started to get an eating disorder. I lost a lot of weight senior year. I was down to like below 85 pounds, and I became really unhealthy. But at the same time, I loved it because I could drink and just instantly feel it. And after high school, it's when I started using cocaine. The eating disorder wasn't really still there, but it kind of was. And then I decided to move to Florida when I was 20 with one of my boyfriends who was a heroin addict and an alcoholic. He didn't really do heroin when he was around me, but he definitely drank a lot. And we did a lot of cocaine together. But I never, cocaine was like I would do it on the weekend and I wouldn't have to do it for another 2 weekends. So I didn't think that was a problem. So we moved to Florida, drove his car across country, and the first night we get there, we're drinking the entire way there, we get really messed up, and the first day I went to go to work, so hungover, my boyfriend's mom came to wake me up to go to work, and I hopped on the freeway. I'd never been on the freeway in Orlando, and got into a really big accident. I was totally fine, but that was just the beginning of Florida for me, and it just all went downhill from there. My 21st birthday out there, I went out the night before and woke up the next day in a park with the homeless man next to me, and I lost my wallet, my purse, my jacket, a lot of things, and that was 21 for me. That was my 21st birthday. His mom sent me back home to California, and I just got really depressed, and I tried to kill myself a couple times. I would cut my wrists, not knowing I wouldn't go deep enough to actually do anything, but I would drink just to oblivion. I don't remember a good 6 months after Florida. And I ended up in a couple of psych wards, 5150, but I'd sober up the next day and they'd be like, you can leave. You don't have to be here for 3 days, like you're fine. So I'd be in the hospital maybe like once a month. And then it just got really bad. I never knew that alcohol, it was such a bad withdrawal and how deadly it is. Because my tolerance was really, really high. I was drinking, it just got worse and worse every day. I had my first seizure. My sisters it was my mom's birthday. Or we were going, I think it was my sister's birthday, and we were on the 405 freeway and I had a seizure. My sister's a nurse and she didn't know what to do. They pulled over and I guess 8 cars pulled over, and one of them happened to be a doctor. And I don't know, I woke up once again a couple days later, and it was because I was trying to detox by myself. I woke up a couple days later in the hospital, but I just always needed alcohol in my system because I was so physically and mentally addicted to it. So I agreed to go to a 30-day outpatient rehab, and was living in a sober living. Did the 30 days, thought I was cured, and 30 days sober, cool, got my chip. I got a chip, and next day was just drinking again, stealing alcohol. I had the money, but I was stealing again. And then I ended up, purposely getting kicked out of every sober living in San Fernando Valley. I I ended up getting a place with someone. I was living in LA for a while, just moving around. I was losing jobs all the time, but I was really, really good at getting jobs. I was working in restaurants as a server, bartender, so it was okay to be messed up. That's just kind of the industry. I started doing more cocaine, a lot of Molly, ecstasy, maybe like 4 days a week. I was living in an apartment with a bunch of people, smoking more. And then I met a guy and he wanted to move to Hawaii, so I agreed, and the whole plan was to become sober. Before I was moving out to Hawaii, it was St. Patrick's Day, I got a DUI. I passed the field sobriety test. They only pulled me over because I didn't turn my headlights on to repark my car for street cleaning. But I passed the field sobriety test. They didn't think I was drunk. I told them I was high, and I blew a .38. And they're like, all right, well, you're pretty drunk. I was like, I guess. Went to the jail. I'm the only one not in the drunk tank because that's how high my tolerance was. So that really, I had saved up all this money to go to Hawaii, and here I am in jail when my plane's taking off. Same thing, running away from my problems and just drinking, excessively. And it just got worse and worse. I was going to work, and it got to the point where my normal BAC, walking, riding my moped, I got into like 3 moped accidents in Hawaii. Half the time I was there this last time, I was wearing an eye patch because I always had a black eye from getting into wrecks. Doctors were like, you're not gonna be able to see again out of your right eye, and that didn't stop me. My sister had called me about this rehab, and I was like, I don't need it. Great opportunity, and I was like, no, we're gonna keep doing it, I got this. Kept doing it for a couple months, and then one day got off work, I was about to go to my other job, and I'm having a couple more beers before, and I'm sitting on this cliff. It's about 300 feet up, and I'm watching the surfers and the sunset, and I went to go pee in a bush, and I took step a little bit too far, and I slid about 50 feet down this cliff. And I was pretty sloshy at this point. I'd been working 8 hours, and I was drinking a lot that day, but I had to. And I was just getting ready to go to my next job where I wouldn't be able to drink right away, so I was getting extra alcohol in my system. And I grabbed onto this branch as I'm falling down, and I looked down. I didn't want to go to work. I was so tired of doing this, and I was just like, I can let go right now, and seeing the jagged rocks on the bottom, and I can die in the ocean where I'd love my ashes to be released. And something in me, I just looked up and I looked back down, and something in me was like, no, you just don't let this happen. So I made my way back up, and up there I called my sister and I said, I'm ready to get help and I'll do whatever it takes. So I made a couple phone calls, told my story, just cried, let it all out, and just said, I can't do this anymore. I can't, I'm so tired. I'm tired of waking up in the morning and being so shaky that I can't run my credit card through the machine and store with 20 people behind me, what's wrong with this girl? She's really sick. So made the call, came out to California, went to a detox for 7 days, and on the plane I had to be escorted the first person off because I was shaking so bad and I was so sick, and I was in California. I had to wait till 7 a.m. and it was 6 in the morning till the bar opened, till I can get a drink to even get in the car to go to detox. And then I made it to detox and made it to the treatment center, and it's been so amazing. It's better than I could have ever expected. It took me a good month to start feeling normal again, even after detox. Because I was taking a lot of Xanax and benzos, trying to detox myself, but getting off everything, and just seeing my family, and I'm so used to seeing them crying every time they see me, just this is the last time I'm gonna see you. Every time my sister saw me when she would see me in Hawaii, because she used to go out there a lot, I had a black eye, and I just looked horrible, like death. Skinny because I was so sick, I was throwing up blood all the time. My liver was not in good shape. And now I see my mom, my sisters, and they're just crying tears of joy, and they're so happy. And I see a different look in them, because I've tried to get sober a couple times, never really taken that seriously, but it's they know, just like I know, something happened that day when I made the phone call to come here, that I'm just completely done, and I'm just starting my life over, and I'm learning so many things about me, and I'm doing so many things I didn't think I would be able to do, like this, for example. I'm not good at talking to people, without having a drink in me, or a pill or something. But I'm learning to meditate, to breathe. It took me a good month to learn how to breathe again. It was really hard. But it's getting easier every day. Of course, some days are not as easy as others, but it's just the beginning, and I'm so excited. Just having a community support and seeing, I have a counselor, a spiritual therapist, and a regular therapist or spiritual counselor. It makes all the difference. And writing more and just letting my feelings out. It's really a blessing. And I go to bed. I remember going to bed, and I remember waking up, and I have a smile on my face going to bed and a smile on my face when I wake up. I'm so excited because this is just beginning, and I know being sober, it's going to lead to great things because it already has. I'm learning how to say yes to everything, and it feels really, really good and empowering. And I don't feel powerless anymore.